Okay, it's April 24th, 2023. Corey Engel here, another Talking to Myself video. I had made a prediction over the weekend. I saw the Tucker Carlson Elon Musk interview, and then shortly after that, I think the next day, there was a video posted by Fox News, and it was a Tucker Carlson piece, and he was saying, imagine if Fox News did this. And he was being critical of CNN, saying that CNN was promoting a product that their advertisers had used in a commercial, and they should not have done that. And his point was that it was Pfizer, I think, something with COVID, promoting a vaccine, and he's being highly critical of CNN. And I wrote in the comments, hogwash. That's exactly what Fox News does. They promote the agenda of big oil and the centralized control. They poo-poo EVs. They poo-poo any alternative to oil and gas, such as wind, solar, battery electrics, batteries for their home. And my thought is they do this because they're the guys that control everything. They control our economy. So I had called my dad the next day and I said, Fox News is going to fire Tucker. Either that or he's going to quit. And sure as shit today, the guy is fired or he quit. And I attribute that to a couple of things. First of all, Tucker's interview with Elon Musk, it was the first time that I ever saw Tucker not actually speak over somebody that he was interviewing. It was done more like a Joe Rogan podcast where Tucker would ask a question, he'd shut the fuck up and let Elon talk, and it was very productive. It was really cool, and it's very enjoyable to watch. And I think this is appealing to a guy like Tucker, the bird's eye guy. His family owned Bird's Eye Foods. The guy has money coming out of his ears. He really doesn't need the Fox News position. And then, there was the follow-up video the next day, being critical of CNN for carrying out the agenda of its advertisers. And I post in the comments, hey, that's exactly what you guys do. And I state how the fundamental principle of capitalism is competition. Fundamental principle of communism is centralized control. And look at what you guys do. You promote oil and gas, and right now the American people, they don't have any choice but to pay the price of whatever oil and gas is charging at the pumps. And that is not capitalism. That is not competition. And to back that up, I say how solar or EVs, how that is competition for oil and gas. But they poo-poo it on their network, which tells me that they're corrupt. And they're just carrying out the narrative of oil and gas. Which leads me into my next prediction. Oil and gas. And it's interesting because back in 2008, when they kicked the hell out of us by taking gasoline to $4.25 a gallon, diesel I think was $5 a gallon. This is 2008 numbers. They kicked the shit out of our economy. And yes, I own a pizza shop, but I see the results of that price increase on whim really quick. So when people are spending $100 to fill their tanks, they have a lot of money to buy pizza at the end of the week. My sales decline. It was the first time that I understood the impact that oil and gas had on our economy. And then I got to thinking about it, and these guys are the best businessmen that have ever existed. They're masters. They have made more money. They have more control. They control the economy. They control the politicians, and basically they control our lives. They dictate how well we live. And then I can remember declaring to myself in 2008, I wasn't ready this time, but I'll be ready the next time. Well, here we are, 2023. And these guys are screwing around. But what I wanted to focus on for this little video It's my frustration in 2008. It's like I had figured out exactly what killed our economy, and it was oil and gas. You know, people were able to pay their power bills. People were able to pay their mortgages until they had to start spending all their freaking money to heat their homes or to get to work. But yet, in the media, they said, no, no, no. It was the housing bubble. It was the financial crisis. It was bad loans. That is complete and total horseshit. And when I think about it, you know, that's the oil and gas industry. They are masters of spin. They have people that will distract you with false information to take the eye off of them. You know, so back in 2008, I can remember a lot of people coming into my pizza shop, and they're angry, they're upset. You know, the price of gas is ridiculous. The price of my heating oil is ridiculous. And eventually, the oil and gas companies, they did lower the price. People were able to breathe again financially. And then that's when you heard all this horse shit about the housing bubble. I don't buy it for a fucking second. The US dollar is based on oil. There is not a product or a service or a good that is bought, presented, sold in this country, in this world, where the oil companies do not profit from it. And so what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter what you do or how you run your business or what your business is. Everybody has to funnel money back to the oil industry. Whether you're using something in your business that has plastic, or you're delivering something, you have to use fuel, or it all goes to them. They control all. And we are in a very big war, a war for energy independence. And something that's interesting, that Fox News interview on YouTube, you could not see on Fox News's YouTube channel the entire interview. But there was a guy that was smart enough, and he recorded the entire interview, which I watched late in the evening. It was only up for a couple of hours. And then at 6 o'clock the next morning, I got up, and my son and I are having breakfast. He's 16 and he's smart enough to start to understand this. I'm like, dude, you have to watch this video. And bam, it was gone. It was out of my feed. YouTube took it down, probably at the request of Fox News. But the only thing you can find on the Elon Musk Tucker Carlson interview are little clips, snippets, and that is about Elon Musk's opinion on AI. But they had talked about some other things in that interview, and the one thing that you cannot find a trace of, and that was Elon Musk's interpretation of inflation. And Elon Musk was highly critical of the Fed. And this is what I've been saying all along. The idea of raising the interest rate to curb inflation is complete total bullshit. All it is a money grab for the freaking banks. And so, in other words, dumbasses, regular people like me, we're paying more money in interest now than ever, and the banks are making more money. And they try to cite all kinds of examples as to why this will curb inflation. It's bullshit. An economy thrives when people are spending money. The only way to beat inflation is with competition. In other words, if there's something that's inflated price-wise, you need a competitor. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's freaking chicken. I don't care if it's lumber. I don't care if it's a service. Whatever your good is, if there's a competitor who's willing to sell it at a lower price, that brings down inflation. Not freaking raising interest rates. So back to Elon and Tucker. And in that interview, Elon Musk is highly critical of Fed. And he's saying, listen, the last time inflation rates were this high and the Fed raised the interest rate this high was right before the Great Depression. And he said the feds need to lower the interest rate, and whammo, that's it. It's not on YouTube. It's not on Fox News's website. You can't fucking find it. It's not there. They took it down. They're controlling the narrative. Um, the one thing that really scares me with their narrative is, and this is like Donald Trump and the fucking Republican establishment that usually carries out the narrative and the agenda of big oil. They keep talking about it's the fear mongering, it's beating the war drums, nuclear war, because Putin's threatening nukes. And the last thing we want is for there to be, well, no fucking shit, we don't want a nuclear war, you fucking assholes. Shut the fuck up. Take away the power of the oil companies and the power of Putin by having competition and having an alternative, giving people a choice as to whether they want to make their own power using solar panels or submit and pay the high prices of oil. And if you take away those high prices by competition, you have taken away their power. I've kind of talked about it before, so I guess let me think here. A couple things. The interest rate, the narrative of a bubble, where, in my view and in my opinion, which I strongly believe is right, inflation is caused by the high price of oil and energy. They'll try to blame it on something else. They'll blame it on the high interest rates or some sort of bad loans or something else to do with the centralized banks. It's horseshit. It's all freaking big oil. Another note too, they talked about, and I kind of remember this, in like 99, 2000, the so-called Silicon Valley bubble, the dot-com bubble. Talked about some inflation there. I would love to see some numbers on where the price of fuel was right before that so-called bubble. I think these bubbles they speak of, in short, is complete and total bullshit. It's a distraction as to what the real root cause is, the fundamental problem, and that, my friends, is motherfucking oil. I think I got it all out. Adios.